Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about something extremely important for mental peace and emotional strength: protecting your energy. Many people feel constantly tired, emotionally exhausted, stressed, frustrated, and mentally heavy. Not because life is always difficult, but because they give too much energy to negative people, arguments, disrespect, fake relationships, and emotional drama. The truth is this: your energy is valuable. Where you give your attention, emotions, time, and peace matters greatly. Some people will misunderstand you. Some people will doubt you. Some people will disrespect you. You cannot control everyone, but you can control how much energy you give to situations that destroy your peace. In this video, we will talk about powerful life lessons that can help you protect your mind, stay emotionally strong, avoid unnecessary stress, and build inner peace. Everything will be explained in very simple English for beginners. So, relax, focus carefully, and let's learn how to protect your energy in a world full of negativity and distractions. Lesson 1. Not respected. Don't engage. Respect is one of the most important things in human relationships. Every person wants to feel heard, valued, appreciated, and treated with basic dignity. But the reality of life is this: not everyone will respect you. Some people disrespect others because of ego, insecurity, jealousy, anger, immaturity, or negativity inside themselves. And many people destroy their own peace trying to force respect from people who already decided not to give it. They argue endlessly, defend themselves endlessly, become emotionally exhausted endlessly. Slowly, their mental peace disappears. That is why this lesson is so powerful. Not respected. Don't engage. This does not mean becoming weak or silent forever. It means learning where your energy is worth spending. Wise people understand something important. Not every argument deserves your attention. Some people do not want understanding. They only want conflict. No matter how calmly you explain yourself, they continue. Criticizing, insulting, provoking, or disrespecting. And the more emotional reaction they receive, the more the situation grows. Another important truth is this: you cannot force maturity into immature people. Some people enjoy creating drama. Some enjoy controlling emotions. Some enjoy disrespecting others to feel powerful. Trying to win with such people often creates emotional exhaustion instead of peace. That is why emotional distance becomes important. Many people think reacting aggressively proves strength. But real strength is emotional control. Anyone can become angry quickly. Anyone can shout. Anyone can lose control emotionally. But calm self-control during disrespect requires maturity. Another major problem is the need for validation. Many people desperately want everyone to understand them, respect them, and approve of them. Because of this, they stay trapped in toxic situations, trying to change people's opinions constantly. But the truth is this: some people will misunderstand you no matter what you do. Some people will dislike you no matter how kind you are. And some people will disrespect you simply because they project their own negativity onto others. Wise people stop chasing universal approval. Protecting your peace becomes more important than winning every argument. Another important lesson is silence. Silence is often more powerful than endless emotional reaction. When people constantly provoke you and you refuse to emotionally collapse, you protect your energy. Silence does not always mean weakness. Sometimes silence means, I value my peace too much to continue this negativity. That is emotional intelligence. Disrespect reveals more about the other person than about you. Emotionally unhealthy people often disrespect others because of their own pain, insecurity, frustration, or lack of self-control. Do not allow someone's behavior to define your worth. Your value does not disappear because someone fails to see it. Another major mistake people make is staying too long in disrespectful environments. Some stay in toxic friendships, unhealthy relationships, negative workplaces, or emotionally damaging circles, while constantly hoping people will suddenly change. But repeated disrespect slowly damages confidence, mental health, emotional stability, and self-respect. Wise people recognize patterns. If someone repeatedly humiliates, insults, ignores boundaries, or disrespects your dignity, distance may become necessary. Protecting your peace matters. Another important thing is boundaries. People often continue disrespectful behavior when no boundaries exist. Healthy boundaries teach others how to treat you. Boundaries are not cruelty. They are self-respect. You do not need to scream or become hateful to protect yourself. Calm distance can be powerful too. Another truth many people learn late in life is this: attention is energy. Every argument, every emotional reaction, every stressful interaction consumes mental energy. And many people waste enormous emotional energy on people who contribute nothing positive to their life. Wise people become more selective with their attention. Not every situation deserves emotional investment. Another important lesson is observing behavior instead of words. Some people apologize repeatedly, but continue disrespecting you again and again. Actions reveal character more clearly than promises. Pay attention to patterns. Respect yourself enough to walk away from unnecessary negativity. Many people tolerate emotional mistreatment because they fear loneliness, rejection, or conflict. But peace matters more than forced connection. A peaceful life alone is healthier than relationships filled with constant disrespect and emotional chaos. Another important thing is emotional detachment. Not every insult deserves emotional suffering. Not every rude opinion deserves deep mental attention. People often speak from anger, jealousy, ignorance, or personal frustration. Wise people learn how to emotionally detach from unnecessary negativity. This creates inner peace. Another powerful lesson is calm confidence. You do not always need to defend yourself loudly. Quiet confidence is powerful. People who truly know their value do not constantly fight for validation. They focus more on protecting their energy and peace. Your emotional reaction gives power to situations. Some people lose peace for days because of one disrespectful conversation. Do not allow temporary negativity to control your entire emotional state. Protect your mind carefully. Another major lesson is maturity. Emotionally mature people understand when conversations are useless. They stop trying to change every person. They stop trying to win every argument. Instead, they choose peace more often, and peace is powerful. Another important thing is self-worth. Never allow repeated disrespect to convince you that you are worthless. The opinions of negative people do not define your value. Respect yourself even when others fail to respect you. Walking away from disrespect is not weakness. Sometimes it is the strongest decision possible. Because protecting your peace requires courage too. So remember this carefully. Not every battle deserves your energy. When respect disappears constantly, do not destroy yourself trying to force understanding. Protect your peace. Protect your dignity. Protect your emotional energy, because calm distance is often wiser than endless emotional conflict. Lesson 2. Not understood. Stop explaining. Many people spend a huge amount of emotional energy trying to make everyone understand them. They explain their intentions, feelings, dreams, choices, decisions, personality, and actions again and again. They hope that if they explain enough, people will finally understand them correctly. But the painful truth is this: not everyone wants to understand you. Some people misunderstand because they truly see life differently. And some people misunderstand because they already decided not to listen with an open mind. No matter how calmly or clearly you explain yourself, their opinion stays the same. That is why this lesson is powerful. Not understood. Stop explaining. This does not mean becoming rude, cold, or arrogant. It means understanding where your emotional energy is being wasted. Many people become emotionally exhausted because they constantly try to defend themselves. They explain every decision, every mistake, every life choice. Slowly, their peace disappears. Wise people understand something important. You do not need universal understanding to continue your life. Not everyone will understand your goals, growth, silence, boundaries, healing, personality, or dreams. And that is okay. Another important truth is this: people understand life through their own experiences and mindset. Someone who never chased big dreams may not understand your ambition. Someone emotionally immature may not understand your boundaries. Someone negative may not understand your positivity. You cannot force people to see life exactly the way you do. That is why endless explanation often creates frustration instead of peace. Another major problem is seeking validation constantly. Many people want everyone to approve of them emotionally. Because of this, they become trapped trying to justify themselves, defend themselves, and explain themselves endlessly. But chasing approval from everyone creates emotional weakness. Wise people stop needing constant permission to live their truth. Another important lesson is silence. Sometimes silence protects peace more than endless conversation. Not every misunderstanding requires a long emotional explanation. Some people listen only to argue. Some listen only to criticize. Some never plan to understand you fairly. Continuing those conversations often drains emotional energy completely. Another powerful truth is this: your life does not need to make sense to everyone. People often judge situations without fully understanding. Your struggles, pain, experiences, responsibilities, or personal battles. That is why trying to satisfy every opinion becomes impossible. Another major mistake people make is over-explaining themselves from insecurity. When people fear rejection strongly, they often explain too much because they want acceptance desperately. But confident people understand this. Their worth does not depend on everyone agreeing with them. This creates emotional freedom. Another important thing is boundaries. You do not owe everyone detailed explanations about your personal life, healing, goals, relationships, or private decisions. Privacy is healthy. Peaceful people often protect certain parts of their life quietly. Another important truth is this: excessive explaining can weaken confidence. The more you constantly defend your choices emotionally, the more mentally exhausted you become. Wise people explain when necessary, but they stop when conversations become emotionally unhealthy or pointless. Another major lesson is emotional detachment. Not every misunderstanding deserves emotional suffering. Some people will always create negative opinions no matter what you say. Do not destroy your peace trying to control other people's perception constantly. You cannot fully control how people see you, but you can control your reaction. Another important thing is trusting yourself. Many people lose confidence because they constantly depend on outside approval. When someone misunderstands them, they immediately doubt themselves. But emotionally strong people learn to trust their own values and decisions more deeply. That creates inner stability. People often judge based on limited information. They see only small pieces of your life. They do not see your sacrifices, pain, healing, struggles, discipline, or personal growth. That is why outside opinions are often incomplete. Another major problem is emotional burnout from unnecessary arguments. Some people spend years trapped in family conflicts, relationship drama, online arguments, or social pressure, trying endlessly to be understood by people who refuse to listen openly. This destroys mental peace slowly. Protecting your emotional energy matters greatly. Another important lesson is maturity. Emotionally mature people know when to stop explaining. They recognize when conversations are no longer healthy or productive. Instead of fighting endlessly for validation, they choose peace. And peace is powerful. Another important thing is observing actions. Sometimes people already understand you. They simply do not respect your perspective. That is different. Not every disagreement can be solved through explanation. Another important truth is this: silence often reveals confidence. People who truly trust themselves do not constantly need to prove their worth to everyone. They stay calm. They continue growing. They focus on their life instead of endless emotional defense. Another major lesson is protecting your mental health. Constantly defending yourself emotionally can become exhausting. Your peace matters more than winning every misunderstanding. Not every person deserves unlimited access to your emotional energy. Another powerful truth is this: the right people usually understand your heart without endless explanation. Healthy relationships include listening, empathy, respect, and emotional understanding. You should not constantly beg to be heard by people who refuse to listen. Another important thing is self-respect. Respect yourself enough to stop chasing understanding from closed minds. You do not need to shrink yourself emotionally trying to fit everyone's expectations. Another major lesson is acceptance. Life becomes lighter when you accept. Not everyone will understand you. And that is completely normal. Another important truth is this: you can continue your journey peacefully even while misunderstood by some people. Your purpose does not stop because of outside opinions. So remember this carefully. Not understood. Stop explaining endlessly. Protect your peace. Trust yourself more. Speak less to closed minds. Save your emotional energy. Because peace often begins when you stop needing everyone's approval and understanding. Lesson 3. Not valued. Step back. One of the most painful feelings in life is giving your time, effort, love, loyalty, care, and energy to people who do not appreciate it. Many people continue trying harder and harder to earn value in places where they are already being ignored. They give more attention, more kindness, more emotional effort, but nothing changes. They still feel unseen, unimportant, and emotionally exhausted. That is why this lesson is powerful. Not valued? Step back. Many people fear stepping back because they think, If I stop trying, I may lose this relationship. So they continue chasing people who repeatedly show little appreciation. Slowly, this damages confidence, self-respect, and emotional peace. The truth is simple. You should not constantly beg people to recognize your value. Real relationships include care, appreciation, respect, effort, and emotional balance. Healthy people notice your presence. Healthy people appreciate your effort. Healthy people value your time. When someone repeatedly ignores your value, stepping back becomes necessary sometimes. Stepping back does not always mean anger or revenge. Sometimes it simply means protecting your emotional health. Wise people understand that constant emotional chasing creates suffering. If someone only remembers you when they need something, that relationship may not be healthy. If someone constantly ignores your effort, that reveals something important too. Actions reveal value more clearly than words. Many people say, "I care about you," but their behavior shows disrespect, neglect, or emotional selfishness. Pay attention to patterns. Some people become so afraid of loneliness that they tolerate relationships that slowly destroy their peace. They accept disrespect, emotional neglect, one-sided effort, and constant disappointment because they fear losing connection. But peace matters more than forced relationships. A peaceful life alone is healthier than relationships filled with emotional exhaustion. Stepping back also creates clarity. Sometimes distance reveals who truly values you. When you stop chasing constantly, people's real effort becomes visible. Healthy relationships survive balanced distance. One-sided relationships often collapse when one person stops carrying everything emotionally. That reveals truth. Many people overgive because they think love means endless sacrifice. But healthy relationships require mutual effort. You cannot carry every relationship alone forever. Emotional balance matters. Respect yourself enough to stop forcing connections where your presence is barely appreciated. Your energy is valuable. Your time is valuable. Your emotional effort is valuable. Do not waste these things endlessly on people who repeatedly ignore them. Some people only appreciate others after losing access to them. That is unfortunate but common. People often take loyal and caring individuals for granted because they assume they will always stay. This is why boundaries matter. Stepping back teaches people how to treat you. It also teaches you something important: who truly values your presence. Many emotionally exhausted people are tired not because they care too much, but because they care for people who give very little in return. That imbalance becomes emotionally draining over time. Protect your mental health carefully. You do not need to become cold or hateful. You simply need healthier boundaries. Still be kind. Still be respectful. But stop destroying yourself emotionally trying to earn value from people who repeatedly fail to appreciate you. Real appreciation feels peaceful. You do not constantly question your importance around people who truly value you. You feel heard, respected, appreciated, and emotionally safe. That is what healthy connection looks like. Many people stay too long in painful situations hoping people will suddenly change. Sometimes people do change, but many times they continue repeating the same behavior. That is why accepting reality matters. Do not ignore repeated patterns because of emotional attachment. Strong people know when to stop forcing things. Stepping back also builds self-respect. You begin teaching yourself, my value does not depend on other people's attention. I deserve healthy relationships. My peace matters too. This mindset creates emotional strength. Your worth is not reduced because someone fails to recognize it. A flower still has value even if someone walks past it without noticing. Do not let neglect convince you that you are unimportant. Sometimes people are simply unable to appreciate good things properly. That reflects their mindset, not your value. Life becomes lighter when you stop chasing validation constantly. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your time, emotions, attention, and energy. Protect yourself wisely. Step back when necessary. Not from ego, but from self-respect. Because people who truly value you will not repeatedly make you feel invisible. Lesson 4. Lied to. Trust less. Trust is one of the most valuable things in human relationships. Without trust, relationships slowly become full of doubt, stress, fear, confusion, and emotional pain. That is why lies hurt so deeply. A lie does not only break trust, it also breaks emotional safety. Many people continue trusting blindly even after repeated dishonesty because they fear losing relationships, being alone, or facing reality. They ignore warning signs, ignore patterns, ignore intuition. Then later they become emotionally devastated again. That is why this lesson matters so much. Lied to. Trust less. This does not mean becoming cold, hateful, or paranoid. It means becoming wiser and more careful. Trust should be earned slowly through honesty, consistency, loyalty, and behavior, not through beautiful words alone. Many people speak well. Many people promise well. But character is revealed through actions over time. Pay attention to consistency. A person who lies repeatedly is showing you something important. Believe patterns, not excuses. Many people continue giving unlimited trust to people who repeatedly damage them emotionally. Why? Because emotions often blind judgment. Sometimes people hope, this time will be different. They will change. They did not mean it. But repeated dishonesty slowly destroys inner peace. Wise people learn from experience. They stop ignoring reality. Trusting less after betrayal is not weakness. It is self-protection. Another important truth is this. Blind trust can become dangerous. Some people trust too quickly because they desperately want connection. They share everything immediately, believe everything immediately, depend emotionally too quickly. Then they become deeply hurt when reality appears. Healthy trust grows slowly. Real trust takes time. People should prove honesty through repeated behavior, not only emotional words. Many people regret ignoring early warning signs. Deep inside, they often noticed dishonesty, inconsistency, manipulation, or suspicious behavior. But emotional attachment made them ignore it. That creates suffering later. Listening to your intuition matters. Your mind often notices unhealthy patterns before your emotions accept them. Another painful truth is this. Some people lie without guilt. Some lie for attention, manipulation, control, personal benefit, or emotional convenience. Trying to force honesty from dishonest people often creates emotional exhaustion. Wise people stop chasing impossible honesty from people who repeatedly show poor character. Instead, they create boundaries. Another important lesson is emotional independence. When your emotional stability depends completely on another person, lies become even more painful. Strong people learn how to emotionally support themselves too. This creates resilience. Another thing many people misunderstand is forgiveness. Forgiving someone does not always mean trusting them again completely. You can forgive internally and still become more careful. Peace and wisdom can exist together. Another important truth is this: trust should match behavior, not potential, not promises, not emotional attachment. Behavior reveals truth over time. People who are honest consistently create emotional safety. People who lie repeatedly create emotional instability. Choose carefully who receives your trust. Another major lesson is protecting your mental peace. Living around constant dishonesty creates anxiety and emotional exhaustion. You begin questioning words, doubting reality, and feeling emotionally unsafe. That slowly damages mental health. Healthy relationships should create peace, not constant suspicion. Another important thing is self-respect. Respect yourself enough to stop accepting repeated dishonesty as normal. Many people tolerate behavior that deeply hurts them because they fear losing relationships. But peace matters more than forced attachment. Sometimes distance becomes healthier than repeated disappointment. Another powerful truth is this: trust is precious because rebuilding it is difficult. One lie can damage years of emotional security. That is why honesty matters so much. Wise people protect trust carefully. Another important lesson is patience. Do not rush trust. Observe people slowly. Notice how they speak, behave, react during difficulty, and treat others. Character always reveals itself eventually. Another truth is this: you do not need to become emotionally hard after betrayal. You simply need stronger awareness. Still be kind. Still be respectful. But stop giving blind trust without wisdom. Another important thing is learning from pain. Betrayal can teach powerful lessons about boundaries, emotional awareness, self-respect, and human behavior. Painful experiences often create emotional maturity. Another major lesson is calm observation. People reveal themselves naturally over time. You do not need to constantly investigate everyone. Simply observe patterns carefully. Consistency reveals character. Another important truth is this: protecting your peace is more important than protecting unhealthy relationships. Do not sacrifice mental stability trying to maintain connections built on dishonesty. Healthy relationships are built on truth. Without honesty, emotional safety disappears. So remember this carefully. Lied to, trust less. Trust slowly. Observe behavior carefully. Protect your peace. Respect your intuition. Because wisdom is not becoming cold. Wisdom is learning who truly deserves your trust. Lesson 5. Interrupted. Speak less. Many people waste enormous emotional energy trying to speak in places where nobody truly listens. They try explaining themselves constantly. They try sharing ideas constantly. They try expressing emotions constantly. But they are repeatedly interrupted, ignored, dismissed, or spoken over. Slowly, this becomes emotionally exhausting. That is why this lesson is powerful. Interrupted. Speak less. This does not mean becoming weak, silent forever, or losing confidence. It means learning where your voice is truly respected. Wise people understand something important. Not every environment deserves your full energy. Some people do not listen to understand. They only listen to reply, argue, control, criticize, or dominate conversations. No matter how calmly you speak, they interrupt constantly because they care more about controlling the conversation than understanding you. Trying to force yourself to be heard in such environments often creates frustration instead of peace. Another important truth is this: constant interruption reveals lack of respect. Healthy communication includes listening. People who value you usually allow you to finish speaking, express yourself, and share thoughts peacefully. But emotionally immature people often interrupt because they lack patience, seek attention, or believe only their opinion matters. Pay attention to these patterns. Many people become emotionally drained because they constantly try proving themselves in places where nobody truly values their voice. They speak more and more, hoping people will finally listen seriously. But sometimes speaking less protects peace much better. Silence can be powerful. Silence does not always mean weakness. Sometimes silence means, I refuse to waste my energy where my voice is not respected. That is emotional maturity. Another major problem is over-explaining. When people feel ignored or misunderstood, they often start speaking more and more emotionally. They repeat themselves constantly trying to gain validation. But this usually creates more exhaustion. Wise people recognize when communication becomes useless. They stop forcing conversations that no longer create understanding. Another important lesson is observation. People reveal themselves through how they listen. Someone who constantly interrupts may also ignore feelings, dismiss boundaries, or lack emotional awareness in other areas too. Listening is part of respect. That is why communication quality matters greatly in relationships. Another powerful truth is this: you do not need to prove intelligence constantly. Many people talk excessively because they desperately want approval, validation, or recognition. But confident people often stay calmer. They speak with purpose instead of speaking endlessly. Quiet confidence is powerful. Another important thing is protecting emotional energy. Arguments and unhealthy conversations consume mental peace quickly. Some people enjoy emotional chaos. They interrupt, provoke, and create conflict constantly. Wise people stop feeding those situations with endless reactions. Protecting your peace matters more than winning every conversation. Another important lesson is emotional control. Many people become angry immediately when interrupted. That anger often creates even more emotional chaos. Calmness creates strength. Staying emotionally balanced during frustrating situations protects mental energy. Another truth many people learn later in life is this: not everyone deserves access to your deepest thoughts and emotions. Some people misuse vulnerability. Some mock it. Some ignore it. Some do not appreciate it. That is why emotional wisdom matters. Speak deeply with people who genuinely listen and care. Another major lesson is choosing your environment carefully. Healthy environments encourage respectful conversation, patience, listening, and emotional safety. Toxic environments create competition, interruption, ego battles, and emotional exhaustion. Your environment affects your peace greatly. Another important truth is this: people who constantly interrupt often reveal insecurity too. Some people fear silence. Some fear losing control. Some fear not being the center of attention. Their behavior reflects their internal state. Do not absorb every negative interaction emotionally. Another important thing is self-respect. Respect yourself enough to stop begging for attention in places where your voice is repeatedly ignored. Your words matter. Your feelings matter. But not everyone deserves unlimited access to your emotional energy. Another powerful lesson is speaking intentionally. Wise people do not speak endlessly just to fill silence. They choose words carefully. This creates stronger communication. People often listen more carefully to calm, thoughtful speech than emotional, nonstop talking. Another important truth is this: peaceful people protect their silence carefully. They do not waste energy arguing with closed minds, disrespectful people, or emotionally chaotic environments. They save emotional energy for what truly matters. Another major lesson is confidence without noise. Some of the strongest people are not the loudest people. Real confidence often feels calm. It does not constantly demand attention or validation. Another important thing is emotional detachment. Not every interruption deserves emotional suffering. Sometimes people interrupt because of their own habits, stress, or emotional immaturity. Do not allow every disrespectful interaction to control your peace completely. Protect your emotional balance. Another powerful truth is this: the right people listen carefully. Healthy relationships include attention, patience, understanding, and mutual respect. You should not constantly feel invisible around people who genuinely care about you. Another important lesson is knowing when to leave conversations peacefully. Some discussions no longer create growth. They only create stress. Walking away calmly can become emotional wisdom. Another truth is this: speaking less often increases inner peace. Less unnecessary arguing, less emotional defending, less mental exhaustion. Silence sometimes protects energy better than endless explanation. So remember this carefully. Interrupted. Speak less. Not because your voice has no value, but because your peace has value too. Speak with purpose. Protect your energy. Choose respectful environments. Stop forcing yourself to be heard everywhere. Because wise silence is often more powerful than endless emotional noise. Lesson 6. Drained. Rest more. Many people feel emotionally and mentally exhausted because they never truly rest. Their mind stays full of stress, overthinking, pressure, negativity, and emotional exhaustion. Then slowly they lose peace, motivation, patience, and happiness. That is why rest is extremely important. Rest is not laziness. Rest is recovery. Your body needs sleep. Your mind needs silence. Your emotions need healing too. Many people continue forcing themselves even when they are completely drained. Then burnout slowly destroys their mental health. Simple, peaceful habits help greatly. Sleep properly. Spend quiet time alone. Walk peacefully. Stay away from negativity sometimes. A rested mind thinks more clearly and feels emotionally stronger. Protect your energy before complete exhaustion happens. Lesson 7. Rejected. Redirect yourself. Rejection hurts deeply sometimes. Jobs reject you. People reject you. Opportunities reject you. Many people allow rejection to destroy their confidence completely. But rejection does not always mean failure. Sometimes rejection redirects people toward better opportunities, healthier relationships, and stronger personal growth. Life continues moving forward. Do not stay emotionally trapped inside one closed door forever. Keep improving yourself. Keep learning. Keep moving forward. Another important truth is this: some of the best things in life happen after painful rejection. Many successful people were rejected many times before finding the right opportunity. Rejection is not the end of your story. Lesson 8. Tested. Stay calm. Life tests everyone: difficult people, stressful situations, unexpected problems. Many people immediately lose emotional control during pressure. But calmness is power. People who stay calm usually make better decisions and wiser choices. Emotional reactions often create bigger problems. Another important truth is this: not every situation deserves panic. Sometimes silence, patience, and calm thinking solve problems much better than anger. Protect your peace during difficult moments. A calm mind sees solutions more clearly. Lesson 9. Doubted. Work in silence. Many people will doubt your dreams and goals. Some people will laugh at your ambitions. Some will criticize your growth. Some will not believe in your future. Do not waste energy trying to convince everyone. Use that energy to improve yourself quietly. Real success often grows silently. Wise people focus more on action than explanation. Another important truth is this: results speak louder than arguments. Instead of constantly proving yourself with words, prove yourself through discipline, growth, and consistency. Keep improving quietly. Lesson 10. Let down. Rely on yourself. Life teaches a difficult lesson sometimes. Not everyone will support you the way you expected. People disappoint. Promises break. Support disappears. That is why self-reliance is extremely important. Trust yourself. Build yourself. Strengthen yourself emotionally. Support from others is beautiful, but inner strength is necessary. Another important truth is this: the stronger you become internally, the less easily life can emotionally destroy you. Believe in yourself even when others do not, because sometimes the person who saves your life emotionally will be you. Protect your peace. Protect your mind. Protect your energy. Not every person deserves your attention, explanation, or emotional reaction. Stay calm, stay focused, and choose yourself more often. If this video helped you, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful life-changing lessons.